Good morning, Bears. It's a Monday that acts like a Friday. Say what? That's right. We're finishing up the science week today because we got a little jammed up. And we covered two different things last week. We did the water cycle and we did our renewable energy. So today, what we want to do is this is Mara's slideshow. Did a great job. So what should you have for basics? You have a wind power. If you want an A, you should have something written here for the pros and the cons. You have clouds. That was our top slide. Mandy. You have a water cycle. You have precipitation. We have evaporation. We have condensation. We have transpiration. We had runoff. We learned about runoff. Solar power. Geothermal power. Renewable energy is in general, and then fossil fuels. Now, what we said was let's move our top slide of the best renewable energy that you like. Now, we don't know why Zamora likes it because she doesn't have her pros and cons. But say she did, then she would be arguing that wind power is the best. Now, if for a B, Zamora, now you are in class all the time, you might get a B if you're lucky. But really, if you want to guarantee a B, we need to unsubmit this slideshow. We need to add a new slide, and this is what everybody's going to have today. And you're going to call this Taking LBMS Off the Grid. And what you're going to do here is you're going to insert a map of LBMS. In this slide, or even another slide, you need to have a CER why LBMS should use, and then you put what you would use. In this case, wind power, but you might use something else. And then you write a claim, evidence, reasoning essay, persuasive essay. They also call them argumentative essay. It's when you're trying to convince somebody, because guess what? The person next to you wants to use solar power. If they use yours and they assign you as the engineer in charge of the job, you make a lot of money. That's the real world. So if you were pitching this in the real world, you want to get this job. You want them to use your power because if they do, you make a lot of money because you're the designer of this. You're the architect. You're the creator. You are the company that wants to use wind power. So you need to convince LBMS, Luther Burbank Middle School you go to, why your idea is the best one. That's why it's called it's argumentative. You're arguing. And when you argue, you provide evidence, you provide reasoning, you present your case. Wind power is the best. You provide evidence, you show pictures, you say what it does, you say how simple it is to install. How, is it cheaper to install? What does it look like? Can it be used for other things? Is it safe? You talk about what the break might look like. You explain your reasoning. You talk about how you're going to get the job done, and you provide them a map of where everything's going to go, and then you do your conclusion, reminding them why your idea is the best. So that's today's assignment, basic. Taking LBMS off the grid. Now, what do you need for today? And I'm going to give you the rest of the day to work on this. You need a map, and you need the icons to show where you're going to put what you chose in LBMS. So how can you do that? Two things. One, you want to go I typed in renewable energy icons, but if you have wind power, you would just type in wind power icons. And look at all these look at the nice little windmills, there's different type of solar panels, and this is where you need to know how to use screenshot. Now I'm going to come back to this in a second. All right, here we are, Google Earth. If you have access to Google Earth through a different account, we don't actually have it on our LBMS accounts, but I don't know why they don't let us use it. But we have, I'm liking it just because it's fun. It's a pretty fun thing to play with. If you don't, just do Google Maps. And go into Google Maps, and you're going to find your way. Whoa, I went way too close. Look at that. There's where we've been studying. We're going to come over here. Remember, we're India, Hinduism. This is tomorrow. And tomorrow you're going to get concepts for China, Taoism, or some people call it Taoism, and some China geography, and it's our last real week of history, believe it or not, because we're going to have fun week that last week of school, next week science. So this week, starting tomorrow, Tuesday acts like a Monday, you'll see your concepts on China, and that's where it is. So that's pretty cool. And where is that related to what we were studying? We were studying India, if you recall, Iran, where there's lots going on today. Guess what? Mesopotamia, land between two rivers, a little more over here. Mesopotamia, land between two rivers. Sure enough, lots of conflict today in this Israel area. Egypt, the Nile, and then we have the Red Sea. And right in here is where you're hearing on the news about Gaza and Israel firing rockets at each other. And then up here we have Greece. Remember that? There's Greece, where we studied Greece. Up here into Italy, Rome, great Roman Empire. So there's a little overview of history while we get over to Luther Burbank. So we're cruising around. I wish I had my mouse, but I don't. And look at this. Right above the beautiful country of Mexico, we have California, Baja California. And above Baja California, guess what? Los Angeles. And above Los Angeles, by the way, I'm going to go to San Diego tomorrow. Not going to be here. I'll give you a heads up in class. But not going to be here tomorrow because my son's graduating San Diego State. So you'll have a sub, but I'll have my video lesson for you guys to do. It's basically a basic Monday, Tuesday that acts like a Monday. Just get your concepts done. We'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, so here we are in LA. You want to know where we are? We're not in Burbank, even though we're called Luther Burbank. We are in Highland Park. So we zoom in. Let's check this out. There's where I live over in Monrovia, Sierra Madre. We come down here a little more, East LA. We're right above East LA. I see Monterey Park, Dodger Stadium. We've got that going down in our area. And then, where are we here? Let's zoom in. It's kind of fun. I like looking around. Guardia Park, Elephant Hill. South Pasadena. That's close. We're getting close, guys. Because there's the Arroyo Seco. There's Garvanza. And here we go. I see it already. There it is. Garvanza Skate Park. And there it is, Luther Burbank Middle School. See, if you ever get on Google Earth, this is one of those ones you can look at your house. You can see people walking down the street. And we'll see how long ago this was taken based on some structures. So here's Luther Burbank Middle School. There's the garden. There's Mr. Downs' room. And I'm right around there. We'll zoom in a minute. So what you want to do now that we're going to get this map, you can rotate it. It's a little tricky to rotate things, to be honest with you. So I don't want to mess it up. Now I'm going to give you an opportunity to just use this map. Because if you don't have Google Earth or you don't want to do all this, this will save you time. But like I said, it's more fun to do it on yourself because then you can play around and you can look at things. So here is Luther Burbank Middle School. So now what do I want to do? I need to do a screenshot. So I'm going to go Shift Command 4. Now, right now, you can pause this video and do your own screenshot if you'd like. Or, and let's think, oh, that's our field. We can use that field. I'm going to say we made an agreement with the baseball diamonds because we're a community school. So I now have done a screenshot of that. And I come back over to... let's go back to our LBMS off the grid. I'm gonna go insert image, upload from computer, recent, screenshot, and bam. Look what I have, a map of LBMS. Now what am I gonna do? Now remember, you can do this on your own or you can take mine. So go back, stop this video, screenshot the one I just did, or do it on your own, find better version, your own version, closer up, whatever you want to do. If you want to find a different map LBMS, you can. But this is kind of the fun way to do it. So now we have this. Now what do we need? Now we need images of the icons. So I'm going to go back. Uh-oh. Where do I have my images at? Maybe it's here. Let's find our images. Oh, I see. There it is. Real big icons. Now you type in the one you want. But once I find these, I can say, oh, I say she is doing wind power. And those are cute little windmills right here. I can do my screenshot again. Now once you have one, you can just keep copying it if you want. So I'm going to do my screenshot. Then I come back to Mr. Downs. I go back to insert image. Upload from computer. Recents. Screenshot. Boom. Now, you're probably going to want more than one windmill. So all you do is do this, go copy, click again, paste, and you start having multiple of these items. See, there's two now. So paste, paste, paste if you want. So now you start saying, well, where do I want my windmill farm? And you come in and you say, well, maybe it makes sense in the basketball courts. And there's ways to make these transparent. Remember, part of everything we learn, there's multiple reasons we're learning about. Learning about different things. There's format options. Somewhere in here, I think, is in more advanced ones. There's usually, oh, there it is, transparency. Watch this, transparency. Bam! Look at that. So now I got my windmills, but you can see behind it. So remember, some of the activities we do are not just to learn about solar power, energy, what have you. It's technology, it's graphic design. So if you open these format options, you can play around and do different things. All right, so there it is. Last part of the water cycle energy slideshow, 4NA. Top slide should have a take LBMS off the grid. It needs to have a map of LBMS. I just provided you one. All you have to do is screenshot it. And then an argument. Now, going back to that other one here, maybe you want to put this, if you have room, here, copy. Maybe you want to just put that there. And in this argument, you should have why whatever you picked is the best, in this case wind power, and why you're putting the windmills where you are. Are you putting the windmills on the roof? Is it going to cave the roof in? Are you putting them on the basketball courts? Are they tall enough that the baskets don't get crushed? What about the birds? What about solar panels? How could you use them in different ways? What about the geothermal? How's that going to work? So which one are you going to pick? Where are you going to put it? Why are you going to put it there? And why is your idea the best idea ever? Take LBMS off the grid. All right, it's a pretty busy day. It's a one-dayer, though. This thing's got to be turned in. Submit this by the end of today. I'm going to go unsubmit all the ones that I have submitted. We'll see you in Zoom. Let's do this. Over and out.